Joining us now, Border Patrol Commander at Large, Greg Bovino. Commander, it's really good to see you. Listen to you earlier today in your press conference. You said something that blew me away, and I want to throw it back to you because I want to make sure I'm understanding this. You said in Minnesota, there are 1,360 individuals, illegal aliens, that you have immigration detainers on, and they're in jails and prisons in Minnesota right now. Presumably, these are exactly the kinds of people that you want to get out of the United States because they're criminals, they're here illegally, and Minnesota taxpayers are paying to keep them in jails and prisons. Are the leaders in Minnesota standing in your way of going after these individuals?
Well, Brian and Dagan, it's good to see you, and thanks for having me. Absolutely. Those leaders and that leadership is standing in our way. That's one of the reasons that we are here. That's one of the reasons why the U.S. Border Patrol, ICE, and those allied law enforcement teams are here by the thousands because of these criminal illegal aliens that are walking the streets with impunity, these criminal aliens that are being held at that state and local level. And again, those leaders refuse to turn those aliens over to us. If they would work with us, turn those aliens over to us, things will be a lot easier. And most importantly, the taxpayer would be a lot safer.
Greg, Commander, is Minnesota and Minneapolis the worst of the worst in terms of jurisdictions that you have to deal with right now? Because we see these images and we hear from you. We see what your agents have to deal with. But for the life of me, I can't understand why any of these elected officials, I would call them leaders, but they're not, any of these private residents would want these illegal alien criminals living in their communities when they're a threat to literally children.
Exactly. We detailed earlier today child rapists, individuals that raped children that just 24 hours ago, Dagan, were walking the streets of Minneapolis. How could leaders, how could those anarchists out on the street support that? How do they support criminal illegal aliens that would do that to a child? And there's also murderers and terrorists and all kinds of other individuals. How do you support that? And that's something that's always a mystery to me and to the Border Patrol agents that are working here in Minneapolis. As to your question on what's this environment like compared to others, it's definitely a non-permissive environment when we talk about that leadership. A Mayor Fry that encourages his police officers to fight Border Patrol agents in the street. Now that one's a new one. I thought Pritzker was pretty bad, Johnson was bad, we know Newsom's bad, but that was I'm not seeing that one before. That's serious.
Can you talk a little bit, we talk about the environment you're operating in, but of course you're also operating in the environment of much more support at the federal level from the president on down for what you're doing. Can you talk a little bit about how that's changed the game for ICE over the past year? And how does it set you up in 2026? 2025 has been, in the news all the time what you're doing. Is 2026, do you think, going to be a year of more success? And what do you do with this administration to make sure it is a year of more success for your core mission?
The success is already here. President Trump and Secretary Noem, we've said it a lot before, they're a dream team to work for. And that success, first of all, is reflected in the morale of those Border Patrol agents, the morale of those ICE agents, and the morale of our federal law enforcement partners. The morale is extremely high because anytime we can go in and take out violent criminal, illegal aliens from the streets, that's a good thing. That's what we all signed up to do. We signed up to play the game, and we all want to play the game. We're playing that game now. I can tell you what, it's maybe the first or second inning, and we've got a lot more innings to go in this game. And I tell you, we're all looking forward to it. As far as this year, 2026, you've got thousands more ICE agents, thousands more Border Patrol agents that are going to hit the border. They're going to hit the streets across America. You're going to see a much safer America, a much safer homeland, a much safer border. These cities that were once out of control with illegal aliens are becoming under control, and you can see it with your own eyes. That's exciting.
If all those liberals and Democrats had done their jobs and kept that border closed, then you and your agents wouldn't have to be in their cities. You are doing the work of securing and protecting this nation. Greg Bovino, great to see you, sir, and blessings.